Looking at the maps here, we got Dust 2 and Mirage, right? And this is the same maps that Espada played yesterday against Prosto,
Yep.
and they won 2-0. So Endpoint also won 2-0 in their match, but it wasn't both of these maps. So to be honest, Espada is probably feeling pretty good about this video. If they can just repeat what they did yesterday, they won 16-10 over Prosto on Dust 2 here, and they had a 10-5 T-side start. So yeah, I think I would actually favor Espada a little bit favorites here due to the maps, and that they just recently played on both of them as well. So Endpoint, not really sure what we're gonna see on those two here in the Mirage, but they're really gonna have to play some good sets because Espada, they were really good yesterday on these maps.
Yeah, there's no denying it, you know, Espada played some great Counter-Strike yesterday. But I will also add this, it felt like the Prosto players were themselves underperforming. I mean, I remember just numerous situations when the Prosto players, they had a substantial edge. It looked like they're going to come out on top in a clutch scenario, and they ended up losing. I think it was 1v2 that they've lost, a 1v3, and some other, you know, situations like that where they have the advantage and they somehow end up losing it, which was incredibly frustrating if you're a Prosto. You know, you come out here on your own map pick on Dust 2, you end up getting absolutely destroyed. I mean, you just get battered on it. It wasn't even a competitive game. Then you go into Mirage, it's a new battlefield, it's a new battleground, it's a new opportunity to actually play some CS, and then they just make so many mistakes that they somehow still make the map close. In a world where those mistakes didn't occur, maybe we could have seen a third map, but simply that just didn't come into fruition.
No, definitely not. And well, Endpoint's map pick here does too, so they have a pretty good record on this map too. They have a lot of wins on it. Recently they did lose the latest match on Dust 2 versus Simon, 16-14. Other than that, they have 16-4 win, 16-11, and then 16-10 loss. So they do have a couple of win and losses here, and the teams they played versus is kind of close like to each other. So it's really hit and miss here with Endpoint. I feel like on Dust 2, they don't really have easy wins against these lower tier teams. Sometimes they win against them, sometimes they lose. So let's see here. We're gonna see Endpoint on the T side. We got a straight up B push coming through, and there's only one B defender, and well, he's been denied. Dima has been wrecked here. So Endpoint come up flying here in the beginning, and Patsy looking for a frag here, but this is not going to be a single way into the B bomb site. It's a 5v4, the bomb is down. How the hell is Espada going to come in here?
It's really difficult for Espada. How can they do it? How can they penetrate this defensive? Even though Sotfik has the smoke read and Finnegan has the kit, the one big problem is that the guys in the tunnels, they're taking their sweet time. Actually, they get the kill on Mighty Max. Now the retake can commence. They need to find a few more frags. Coming out of the tunnel is incredibly difficult, as there's Robin on the other side. Patsy comes in with a kill. There's still enough time here for Espada, but Endpoint, they're actually getting the frags, and they're gonna secure every single one of them. That will be Endpoint's victory to take, but a valiant effort from Espada at that retake.
Yeah, definitely, and I think you gotta lower your mic a little bit, Danny, or something like that. Yeah, they tried to go for the retake through tunnels instead. It didn't really work out, and well, Espada, they're gonna have to force here. 2 scouts and a few deagles. But if Espada don't get the same start they got on yesterday against Prosto, so if that don't happen, well, that's gonna be interesting to see what they're gonna do, because Espada they were always in the lead in that game, and if you're gonna start from behind, it may be a little bit more difficult here. So what Endpoint can't really afford though is losing this round. You know, we've seen a lot of teams losing this second round forces, and it's just so tilting when that happens.
Yeah, this is a interesting situation. Obviously, if you're a Espada, you're gonna have to go for the force buy. It just makes sense here, but I'd be very careful going up against those scouts. If I'm Endpoint Dexter, he has shown his proficiency with the scout. Damage being dealt, that's good. There could be more to come, but he does go down to Thomas eventually. The players of Endpoint might continue on with the push here on the A side, but they have to be careful. The rotation is imminent here from Espada. Dima spraying wildly with that deagle. This will not secure a single frag. Patsy on the other hand sure does. Dima chimes in, and it's Espada actually securing the 4-spy victory. Endpoint walk in towards the A-bomb side. They get absolutely wrecked by the 4-spy of Espada.
And yeah, so Softy, Patsy, and Dima left alone here. There's only one player on the B side. He needs to shut this down. Dima with the first kill, flashes this out, gets the second, going for more. He actually gets all three, and he saves the round here for Espada. Even gets the fourth as well. Great play from Dima. If he went down there with only one kill or less, that most likely would have been an Endpoint round, but done a very good job with his utility, flashing out and getting the shots down. So 2-1 for Espada, and they're getting the better start here. You can see the past matches as well. 4 wins and 1 loss. Endpoint almost the same here, but Espada winning, Endpoint winning the pistol and then losing the one straight after. This is not looking good for them. This, you know, on the T side you want to get ahead, and well, they're not going to get ahead here. This is a full eco with Finnegan getting a few easy frags in lower. Gonna have easy frags. This is easy pickings. A fast third round will be coming in here, Danny, before we go into the buy round.
Yeah, very quick round right now. Endpoint are getting massacred here, but that's to be expected. You know, when you're going as a full-on eco, you're gonna get shredded by the bullets. And well, on the back of it, Espada secured themselves the 3rd round. This is good. On the back of a 4-spy, they got themselves some 2 strong victories right now, and they've started to manage build some kind of an economy here on the city side. It's still nothing great, but at least that's the start Espada has been looking for some time here on this first half.
So, well, 3-1 here. We do have the buy, but the utility is pretty bad here from Endpoint, just because they can't really afford to go for that. They need to get the guns first. So, Endpoint on the T side here, not looking too strong so far in the map start. Let's see what they're gonna do in the gun run first. We can't really judge them before the gun run is being played out. It was a 4-spy, everything can happen in those kind of rounds. But we can see from Espada, they have nobody on the A side and nobody long. They're playing triple towards middle here, short. Oh man. If Endpoint does the cross smokes here towards CT like they done, they may not even get back, but okay, they make it back towards the side. Endpoint, they're not playing the fast-paced game. So, taking that a minute here, they're all 5 towards long from Endpoint. They should be pretty easy to just make this happen from Espada, if they know this is happening, of course. Smoke coming through, and the push is out here for Endpoint. Dima's gonna get the first one. Thomas with the trade, that's good, but oh my goodness, Dexter! He's lining up both of them. That's a collapse. Right, the Max and Robin. A lot of work to be done, but unfortunately down to the Swede here. Among the packs to try to pick this one up, but Espada, what a great A-hold here. Robin's only going to be good for 1. 4-1 from Espada, what a beautiful start to have. And they may even get this one for free too.
Yeah, that's a very good start right now for the players of the Espada side. I mean, yes, it was Endpoint that won the pistol. That's great and all, but it's Espada that's got the conversions. They won a very important 4-spy victory, and now they're just looking so good here on the CT side. Maybe their performance against Prosto wasn't a fluke after all. Maybe they can actually play very well here on Dust too. And so Endpoint, let's see if they have any more strats in the bag. Obviously, it's early days here in the first half, so it shouldn't be much of an issue. Flashbang being deployed, Endpoint have short control, which is very important on a map like this too. Once you have short presence, you're able to maneuver around the map very quickly, and Finnegan, yeah, is able to spot it. Surreal there, comes in with a good kill here for Espada, and Bit of a boost right now here from the Endpoint side, but it's a shame that Robin can't see a damn thing because Espada, all things considering, are going for a very passive hold.
Yeah, they definitely are, and well, I don't think this one really will work out for Endpoint. So Fick is gonna have the position once they cross here. Dexter 2, Dexter's gonna line up first, he'll be addressing for the second. He actually goes down here, so now there may be a little bit of panic, but Patsy is gonna say, no more panic, I'm gonna get 3, no problem my friends. Take the 5th run here from Espada, and taking a 4-run lead here on the CT side as well. This is normally what you want to do on the T side, right? But, well, CT side is gonna have to be good for now. Endpoint still a long way, you know, it's only around 7, so there's no panic for Endpoint, but if they want to make this a good half and not let Espada have 10-5 again like yesterday, like versus Prosto, they need to string a few rounds very soon. Otherwise that would be a fact.
This is good right now. Look at this. Endpoint have managed to make their way out of long without being spotted by a single CT. This is perfect right now for Endpoint. This gives them the opportunity to not only have a successful push on the A-bomb side, but maybe even have a successful round as the players from Espada, they're clearing out short. They've got mid-presence. They're thinking, right, we've got some awesome positioning right now, but the big problem is that Endpoint, once they begin to make their push on the A-bomb side, will Espada try and defend it? In fact, look at this. What a defensive has been set up. 4 players at the helm for Espada, just ready and waiting for the players of Endpoint to get a little bit closer to try and punish them. And this is also a little bit perplexing. The smoke grenade's about to run out at Endpoint. You better come in here with a big push. Molotov's deployed. It's time to hold a sight for Espada. Patsy, good shots coming in. There's the kill. There's a second one for Patsy. Mighty Max and Crucial suffering heavy casualties. How can they try and survive this one? They cannot. Dexter with a kill, and Patsy even spots out Crucial. The man is stuck in the pit, but there's no way in the world he can dig himself out of this mess.
No, the thing is though with Endpoint is they're not really taking any map presence. They just pretty much going long in the beginning of the round, staying there for like 30 seconds, and then go towards A side. It's so easy for Espada to read what they're gonna do, because there's nobody tunnel, there's nobody mid. And if they don't see anyone short, there's only gonna be one position you're gonna be at.
Going through the smoke, walks in, gonna go down, walks in with the AWD.
LOOT.BET.
So, the thing is they need to try to get some tunnels presence or some mid presence here in Endpoint, otherwise it's just gonna be easy pickings here from Espada. Now they're gonna go towards lower, that's a good kill from Finnegan. It's just gonna be pistols and a scout. Now they're taking some presence elsewhere except from long, but it's on a run like this where you just have to scout the Eagle. Yes, they did pick up that off now in lower tunnel, but a 4v3 from Espada should just be a 7th round here, but this is what they need to do on the gun rounds, trying to get some early presence, but we don't really see enough of that. And oh my goodness, that double nade is absolutely brutal. Robin hits to death. And well, not to start Endpoint 1 on the T side, and now I'm starting to wonder what really is the reason they picked this map, because this is a good map from Espada, like we saw that yesterday, right? So Endpoint, they can have to be even better, and they're not really showing that at the moment. They're not walking up. They need their coffee or something, because this is they're destroying them.
Oh, I'd say rightfully so, because some of the setups here by Espada on the city side, they're looking really good. There's no denying it. Like what we witnessed in one of those previous rounds where the Espada players were pushing up middle. Well, that's the thing, not really pushing up middle. They were just holding middle through short, and once they had an inkling that this could be in fact a commitment on the A-bomb side through long, they had a 4-man team ready to come in with a rotation and try and stop Endpoint. That is some very good setups here from the Espada side. Now whether Dexter, oh, this is quite the aggressive angle. He's still gonna hold this position. Not a single Molotov or flashbang coming his way to try and deter him, so might as well hold it for as long as possible, and now this could be the deterrent. Check in a Molotov as he retreats. That's gonna slow down the Endpoint push for now.
Well, this was about 7 seconds, now they're committing again. But ooh, that nade again, a brutal nade, another nade too. They just keep taking damage Endpoint. And look at this boost, I haven't really seen this one being used before. Jump up on another one, but Crucial, he's ready for it. He's just watching that Fox angle and then, well, he peeks into the angle and then just, Crucial has an easy kill. So, maybe this could be the second round from Endpoint. They have taken a little bit of damage on Surreal, Crucial and Mighty Max, but should be good if they just go together here. First kill is always important for Endpoint, and when they pick the map here, they're really looking now for the remaining rounds here. Flashes are coming through here on short, and they're executing with 35 seconds to go. The question now is, how many is gonna die? Oh no, Pats is gonna burn it. Oh no, it's a disaster. They're not even making through short. They're not even making through, and they're gonna all be destroyed. Like, what is this we're seeing? Like Prosto, they weren't even this bad yesterday, Danny.
It's like watching. I would say it's
they
like.
Were not good, but they weren't this bad.
Well, I'd say it's like watching a car accident. You know it's brutal, but you just can't look away. You want to see how it plays out, and this is exactly what's going on. Endpoint, they run into one of the bomb sites, and they just get absolutely destroyed. Every single player in a span of a few seconds. That's it. Every single one of them is then eliminated. And I guess it comes down to the Espada players just feeling so confident here in this map. Everyone is able to hit their shots, but so can Crucial on the other hand. Fine shooting with the hand cannon. That's also a weapon recovered. I mean, now they have, oh, they've got ops, they've got scouts, they've got headshots. This is good here for Endpoint. This could be their round to take. Only 2 more players to contest here from Espada. That's Dima and Patsy, and look, they might try to go towards the A bomb site, the B bomb site. Doesn't really matter at this point. They have a huge edge. Patsy missing shots. And this round is going to come to a close. Dima goes down. And Endpoint. Well, speaking of confidence, I did not expect that from the Pistols.
No, that should have been a free round for Espada to build on, but they're giving away 1v1 picks. Yes, good couple of 1-days there coming up from Endpoint, but Espada slipping up a little bit there, and maybe they're not keeping the focus. You know, they're thinking like, okay, we have 8-1 lead. Let's just, you know, keep playing our game. We're gonna win more, and then just the focus slipping up, and that's gonna cost you the round. And the problem here with that is that Endpoint, they may just get back into the game because of that one round. They may feel like, okay, boys, we won a round we shouldn't win. Now let's get onto that. Let's keep building. Get an 8-7 half, and then roll them over on the CT side. But 2 rounds is not going to be close to be enough still, so they need to try to build at least 5 or 6 here on the first half.
The aggression though, look at this. Oh, Dima, that's perfect. Thomas had no idea after winning such a convincing round that Espada might actually try to go for such shenanigans. That's so good. And they can retreat. They have presence over the tunnels. They might as well go back towards the B bomb site, chuck in that smoke grenade for good measure. And look at this, there's still a whole minute left on the clock, and the players of Espada still have huge amounts of utility. This is massive.
Yeah, but look at this, Sophie is taking aggression long, so now they know there's not going to be anybody long. If he clears the middle, it can only be tunnels and short, and now a lot of flashes being thrown here towards short, so he's gonna know this is gonna be the play. Now that guy jumps up Xbox. He gets the first one, doesn't get the second, but he all the information from Patsy here as well to come through. And they wanna go back, but there's no way back. There's the death in front of you. And he's gonna get himself a double. Doesn't get the triple there on Crucial, but he has 10 HP. This is gonna be a kill for Dima, and there you have it. Espada. Yes, they lose against the Deagles, but they win the one straight after. That will make things a little bit better here from Espada. Will save that awful round they had. But you see, they try to, yes, they go for tunnel, but then they're going back towards short, and there's a flank from long, because nobody's holding the flank or anything, so they just keep giving Espada map control to keep pushing on. Well, he cleared long, he went middle, he saw the guy going to short, easy kills for him. It's just nobody from Endpoint really checking anything on these angles. And this is what they kept been doing. They've been pushing long when they don't see anyone, push tunnel, then they know it's gonna be long and stuff like that. It's just, it doesn't seem like Endpoint really have an idea what they want to do here on the D side. And with 3 Deagles on Aiken and Tech 9 here, this is one of those other rounds where they had pistols, right? They did win this last time, but I don't think Espada is gonna do the same mistake. So I'm really thinking this is probably gonna be like 11 rounds for Espada in this half, like 11-4. Maybe a bit more brutal, to be honest.
It's interesting as well that Endpoint currently have 2 rounds. Both of them have been won on the back of pistols. You know, the pistol round was the first one, and then it was a force spot with pistols. Something though, ooh, something tells me that M4 when his nozzle was sticking out, and Dima, he's sticking out like a sore thumb. He's getting all the kills. Highlights on this man is he's been looking stellar. But that's the thing as well. Everyone, I mean almost everyone here from Espada is able to have his moment, his time to shine. And it's so difficult for a team like Endpoint to try and counter this. That's the thing, Dust 2, it's a very heavy momentum-based map. And currently the momentum is in the wins of Espada. And Endpoint are having a difficult time dealing with fragging individuals on the CD side of Dust 2.
I feel like if Espada wins Dust 2 here, like they did yesterday, teams are going to be looking like, hey, maybe we shouldn't play Dust 2 against Espada. You know, 2 days in a row, people being wrecked on it against Espada. Of course, this game is not over yet, on round 13, but it's 10-2. Espada, they only need 6 rounds to win the first map here. But with an enter sub league, that's a good start at least from Endpoint. That's usually when they win the rounds, if they get an enter early on and group up together. But there's only 1 player on the B side, nobody made. There's 3 towards A, so if they go for B now at Endpoint, they're gonna win 100%. But that's not gonna be the call, they're gonna go short. And with 1 player on the A side too long, this could be a pretty bad affair from Endpoint. We saw last time when they had an entry, they went short as well, and they got absolutely wrecked. So, do they want to gamble again, or do they may want to go back to the B side this time? There's nobody pushing from Espada this time though, so Endpoint is not gonna find anything that way. But yeah, 4 players short, 1 guy in lower tunnel. 40 seconds to go. They could still go B if they wanted, Danny, but at this point I think they're committed to the A side.
Nice nade. But it's not going to be enough though to deter the advancement. Those Molotovs though, they're doing the trick right now. 25 seconds at Endpoint really got to move in right now. Valuable time being wasted, and will Dexter, ooh, that's some unlucky timing from his part. Molotov as well. Endpoint need to get all the frags, and they're yet to find a single one. There's the one on Robin. This is good right now. Dexter comes up with 1. He's going to try to go for the jump spot, but no, he's going to go down. That's it. That's finally Endpoint picking up a proper gun round victory. It was looking incredibly scary there, considering it's 20 seconds they have to commit. But the players of Endpoint are able to get all the necessary kills and win the round in a very successful manner.
Yeah, it's all due to the guy on A ramp who didn't get to find a single shot because he got molded, so he had to smoke himself out. So he didn't really get the chance to peek short there, and just looked away when they came through as well. A little bit bad timing on his part. So, but good news for Endpoint at least. They're getting a gun round, and maybe they can grind the last 2 rounds. That would be very, very good for them if they can get a 10-5 and then get the pistol round, because Endpoint, they're a pretty good pistol team. But that requires them to get more than 3 rounds here, so final 2 very important for their side. Espada, of course, they can deny that, but 10 rounds are ready. This is exactly what they had yesterday, 10-5, but that was on the T side, so Espada even got their strong side coming up next half as well, so I really don't know how Endpoint is gonna do good in this one. Dust 2 and Mirage, both of Espada's best maps are slipping through. We can see a long here. Just had a very good off angle here, Patsy. Next to the blue container. But it does look like they want to go towards mid to B here. And that's going to be in the open arm from Dexter, but Dexter does not hit the shot. And Dima and Finnegan, last 2 players on the B side. This is essentially going to be a 5v2 if they keep going, but Finnegan gets tagged. Oh my goodness, crucial, what? What was that kill through the smoke? That is not allowed to happen. 44 seconds to go. It's a 5v3 for Endpoint. They just gather up together and go A now. They will be fine in this round. There's 2 B players. That's what they're doing right now. They're heading towards A side. What entries were crucial there? Pretty much just won them the round single-handedly.
Yeah, it's just really the power of entry fragging. If one of your players is able to just come up huge like that, find those 2 frags out of nowhere. I mean, the last kill as well, that really came out of nowhere. Crucial, some incredible game sense to find that frag, and well, that's going to put Endpoint now on 4 rounds, and maybe, just maybe, Endpoint's in a position to get 5 in total. To get those 5, I mean, it's still not great considering they're on the T side of Dust 2, but at least it's something to work by. Now, of course, in the upcoming round, Espada will still have just enough money to get this purchase going. That's why they're trying to save all 3 weapons. That's a bit of a problem, though. One player going down is gonna weaken the buy for sure.
Yeah, the thing is though, Dimma and Finnegan, they can still drop those over, so there's not actually gonna be any damage hurt here from Espada going to the final round. They're gonna have all the guns and all the nades they want here. So 10-4 here, Endpoint looking to grab the 5th here to just be 5 behind. That's still doable, of course. But I'll say the T side is where you want to be, and Espada still have, I would say, the stronger side coming up. Done with Endpoint, even if they pick up the 5th round. This is not really what we saw yesterday, Danny, from Endpoint, like this kind of plays. It just started looking a little bit worse, but it's real. At least he opens up on short, so that's some good news coming through. And well, Espada again giving away an early entry, but we don't really see the same aggression from Espada. They're trying to take map control and Crucial. Another kill here. This should be going the way of Endpoint, but when I say that, Patsy, he picks up 2 amazing frags, and Crucial, he even gets a second. Took 2 kills again for Crucial in this round, and there's not a single player on the B sides. Oh no. Endpoint, they're gonna get B sides.
Oh no is very right at this point, because Endpoint, they've taken over the B bomb site without losing anything really. Players from Espada have completely abandoned it, and now they have to go for the retake in a 2-on-3. They're both pushing out through the doors. They should be eliminated, and just like that, they hit the deck. Endpoint, they actually managed to do it. They've managed to pick up those 5 rounds, as difficult as it might have been. They finally got some gun rounds on the board, and you know what? Even though they acquired these rounds at like the very end of this first half, moving over to the second half, I think that's even a little bonus, you know, a little bit of momentum now in their sales, is that they've actually won rounds. They're feeling a bit more confident about themselves, that okay, it's not like Espada is some kind of Astralis team that makes no mistakes, no nothing. They can crumble. They can absolutely be pummeled. We can win aim duels against them. So coming into this pistol round, of course, you guys know the importance. If they win the pistol round here, this could allow Endpoint to string a few more rounds together and suddenly make this first map of the best of 3 quite competitive.
Yeah, we know Endpoint is very strong on pistols as well. They did win the pistol in the first half. Did lose one straight after, but that's another thing. Still, the pistols are very strong here from the Brits. And, well, Espada, they're gonna take long presence here. And, this is just the opposite of what Endpoint did. They went for fast B play. But, this may work out too, depending if the CTs landing their shots or not. Because the pistols is a little bit RNG sometimes, and the USPs, they want to get long range, right? The Glocks want to try to get up close. That's why they're trying to force the issue here. They don't want to long range the USPs. That's why they want to have to come in. If they can get up close and personal like this on Thomas, this is going to be very, very good for the T side. This is where the USP is not as good as before, but he gets 2 anyway, so it doesn't matter what he has. And back, trade has to be coming in though. 3 versus 3. Finnegan. Need to try to find some frags here, but there's a guy behind the Gandalf, and that's going to be crucial to get the 1-tap on Dima. And now it's not the Finnegan looking for these, and alongside his optic, the spray comes in, it's good for 1. Going for the second one, runs out of bullets, down to 10 HP, a 2v1 for Finnegan. This is not going to be possible, unless he can get the 1-taps. And he doesn't get it. Endpoint wins the second pistol round as well. And this is where they can come back.
That's one of the things I didn't really notice myself until we noticed that Finnegan was in that 1v2. That the whole time the bomb wasn't even planted. Espada were in position to try and get that bomb down, you know. They were on the side themselves, but they just never could get it down. And even in that situation, maybe if the bomb is planted, maybe Finnegan's got a better chance of that situation, even though it's a 1v2. Problem is, no bomb plant, and Espada actually gonna go for the force buy here. Standard affair here from the T side. Loads of pistols, some utility as well. I like the fact that they buy up utility, you know. If they can throw in those smoke grenades, say on the A-bomb side, throw in those flashbangs as well, they get close to a side, maybe there's 2 defenders they can eliminate. It is absolutely possible. We've seen what kind of shenanigans can Endpoint do with the pistols, and Espada, to me, seem the type of team that can replicate their success. However, that's not a good start. That's going to be a few kills going in favor here of Endpoint. In fact, 2-man down for Espada. Finnegan does reply, or actually no, it's Dima to send his regards.
Yeah, so first half they did win this force by Espada, and well, they're getting another 1 dig here, so a 3v3 here. This cannot happen again. Endpoint cannot lose both force buys. That is just not how they expected after winning the pistol. That's a good nade on Patsy though, so they should be able to clean this one up, especially the scout here. He should get a couple tags and then let the weapon finish them off, and that's exactly what it does. Dima is down to 1 HP somehow. And it's all down to him and Finnegan. This will be an Endpoint round. And well, the thing is, what they want to try to do is they want to try to get 1 more kill, so they're gonna have to rebuy. Because now they can just buy themselves, right? If they can get 1 more gun away, they need to go for the rebuy. But it will be an eco in the next round, so if they don't do any damage in that round, it won't really matter. But here we go. There's easy frags coming through. Crucial gets the final 2. So 10-7 here. 2 kills is still good from Espada, considering what happened in the start of this round. And well, it's gonna be the first test when the guns comes out, and that is not gonna be this round. That will be the next round. We can see the odds. Espada still huge favorites actually, so far. But Endpoint, you know, they won the last 3 in the first half. Now they won the first 2, right? So they won 5 in a row, 6 with this one, and that is the momentum we were talking about. If they can build that, they can definitely make it back here.
Especially if they end up winning this round, which at this point, just on paper, that should be it. It's Glocks up against some 4s. There's no way in the world Espada should be in a position to win a round like this unless some big mistakes come out here from Endpoint's defensive. But yeah, definitely this is turning out to be a close affair now between the 2 teams. We're talking now about a 10-7 scoreline that could quite easily turn into 10-8. And if Espada end up losing the upcoming gun round as well, that could be a scenario of even 10 rounds for Endpoint. Unthinkable as the first half is coming to an end. But now here in the second half, it's a new dawn for Endpoint, and let's see if they can line up a few kills. Actually, Dima gets 1, not too shabby considering it's P250. Finnegan as well able to chime in. Damage being dealt here on the Endpoint economy, and the headshot by Patsy. He's looking for more heads though. Knows there's a guy in CT spawn, but there's an opportunity for Patsy to maybe deal some more damage. A headshot by Patsy. He's crazy, but he's not that good to win the clutch. Patsy goes down, but that was scary. Endpoint, you know, I give you appraisal that, right? You're going up against a full eco. This should be your round to take, and Patsy, he was almost in a position to win that whole damn round.
Man, if he did win that against a full eco, with a full eco, that would have been, Endpoint would have been crying for that for days. They do still pick up the round, but only with 1 player alive, so they're gonna have to rebuy on every single one except that guy, and he has to buy like nades and stuff like that anyway, so he only has $1,000 left, Crucial. Everybody else has $0 from Endpoint, so yes, even though they won 3 in a row now, they're gonna go up against the first buy round from Espada, and if they lose this one, they're gonna have to eco here, Endpoint. So this is a must win, and Robin is also going down early on here. Crucial, he has a lot of work to be done here on the A side, because he's only a player. They're playing double B and 1 long. So, yeah, this is just bad start here from Endpoint, losing the first player, almost lost that full eco round. It was a teammate from Endpoint, but this is the much more important round. But oh, Crucial, he misses an easy shot. And now, well, he hits the harder one at least. Back to 4 versus 4 now. Question is, can they take out Crucial here, or will he just have to go for the retake here? Doesn't look like they're gonna peek him, and Mighty Max is gonna pick up another frag here. It's a 3v2. Retake coming out from Endpoint. That smoke is gonna be fading out any second now. They're just gonna wait for it. It's not that nearly put down. So 24 seconds to go there. Leading out against the first one. Oh my goodness, imagine if he found the second, it didn't. It's all done to Softic. 18 seconds to go. They need to go now. The time is running out. Oh my goodness, they're not finding the frag there, Softic. And there we go with 10 seconds left. He has 5 seconds to spare on the defuse. Imagine if he didn't find the kill there on short. It would have been a 1v1 and then Espada would have won it 100%. But Endpoint, they do pick up the round with a retake there. Unfortunate for Espada, did not get the second kill there on short.
But at the same time, I felt like Patsy was in a difficult position as well. To try and find those 2 kills is incredibly difficult. He had no backup, just the one smoke grenade in front of him, and once the 2 players appear in his crosshairs, I mean, I gotta give him props for even getting the one. Good tag here by Dexter onto Mighty Max. But even though it is a tag, there's a lot of action going on here towards long. Surreal being blinded, but he can now line them up. That's perfect. That's the start you're looking for if you're Endpoint. Shut them down as early as possible. Make sure that there's nothing Espada can't do as they run into the loving arms of Surreal. He gets himself the 3rd kill. That's also the bomb being dropped close by Longhouse. So this round is coming to an abrupt end for Espada.
Yeah, Surreal. Great job from him along there. His teammate dies, but then he picks up the remaining frag, the 2 coming out, and then the 3rd guy there. So, Endpoint going from a 10-2 to a 10-10. They have yet to lose a round after it was a 10-2 scoreline. We're gonna have tied game here. Espada. Yes, they've been very, very close to winning these T rounds in the beginning, except this one. But if you can't convert, you're always gonna be at a disadvantage, and as well with the money too. I think Dexter and Dima, they may just need to save this, take it into the next round, and get a chance in the 21st to have a chance to win that round. Because if you throw away these 2 guns, basically you're not gonna have nothing. And well, you could try to go for it on the B side, but the thing is, there's 2 players B. So, and Mighty Max, like close range with an MP9 is so good as well. So I don't know how they're gonna do this if they decide to go B here. Oh no, they're doing good. And yeah, you can see Mighty Max just sprays them down, no problem. 10-10, and now both teams need 6 rounds. Espada, like 10-2, we were like, Endpoint, they have nothing to say, and now it's the other way around.
$10-10 right now. Endpoint. They're managed to do it somehow. Remember, the scoreline at one point was 10-2 in favor of Espada, and now Endpoint have managed to win 8 rounds in a row without being stopped. This is incredible. This is really good right now for Endpoint. If they can continue on with the current pace they have here, maybe they're still in a position to win themselves their own map pick, which, as you guys remember, again, it was in favor of Espada. It was 10-2, and Endpoint right now on the brink of trying and winning the map pick. And once we do get to Mirage, I mean, that's gotta be, oh, Espada's confidence shooken up.
Yeah, it's usually a good map from Espada, to be honest, but if they don't win this one, even though this is Endpoint mapping, yes, but you had a 10-2 lead, and you have yet to win a run after that. It's just, I don't know really what you can do. So, rough game here from Espada, especially on the T side now, after that 10-5 off. They just haven't got a single round. And it just looks like they're all fired towards the B tunnels here. Looking like the B play is going to be on the cards, and it is. And there's only one player here, that's Surreal, and he misses the first shot. He's getting full flash, he should be taken out there. But why is nobody pushing him? There we go, they're finally taking him out. Mighty Max on a USP. Can't do anything about that. And that is how you take the B sides. Espada, 5v3 now, I think. Endpoint, they can't afford to lose these guns. They're just going to fall back and save. And we were talking about Endpoint, just keep winning. Espada then winning the first round here on the T side. Straight up B push. You can see Surreal, he missed the first shot there, and then he got flashed. He had no more opportunities to kill anybody else. So triple save here. Not bad from Endpoint actually. They don't, you know, they just lose one round. They pretty much save every single gun. Mighty Max can rebuy, same with Surreal, so no problem with the buying here from Endpoint. But maybe they're gonna start putting 2 players on the B side, because having 1 player on the B side is risky, right? Because if he dies, or he gets flashed and dies, you know, it's impossible to retake the B sides.
A lot of times that's how, whenever the early rounds are played out here in Dust 2, sometimes you'll be seeing the 2 bomb side defenders early on. If it does come down to an early B side hit, then yeah, the 2 defenders have a much better chance of dealing with the opposition. However, as the round progresses, as rotations need to come through towards both parts of the map, more often than not, there's only 1 defender on the B bomb side, and there's always so much pressure whenever you're the anchor. And so crucial though, playing a dangerous game. Dexter even gets a tag on him. Of course he's the operator. Oh, I wanted to say it doesn't matter too much, but if something's gonna go for sprays like that, that's a kill here for Espada. That's the opening frag as well. Nothing too good here for Endpoint. At least the op is still recovered, so they kind of have presence over the middle. They can oversee what's going on, but that's going to be a huge confidence boost for Espada moving into this 22nd round.
Yeah, that's actually, you know, now Espada have a lot of time to play with what they want to do. They have 3 players towards A for Endpoint, 1 towards B, so they're playing more heavy towards the A side, and that's exactly where Espada is going to hit. So this is absolutely perfect for Endpoint. They gamble the right side. The question now is, can they land the shots? The upper doesn't find anything. He actually doesn't hit the head, and that means that he has to fall back with Thomas now. I think they just need to save at this point. Again, and maybe another save. A side is easier to take, of course, but do you want to risk it? Mighty Max and Surreal, they don't have any money if they die, if Mighty Max dies here. Surreal has 0. So I don't think it's worth risking it. And ooh, Robin from the pit, he gets the kill. But Dima gets the kill in top mid. So Mighty Max and Surreal, they have no money now. Thomas and Robin, they need to save the weapons. So, well, good news here for Espada again, winning their 2nd in a row. And well, Robin and Thomas will get the save, so they can drop those 2 over and rebuy, and they will have a 3rd buy here in point. But if they didn't save these kind of weapons in the last 2 rounds, well, they would have had a full eco by now, but they're gonna avoid that now.
Well, at least there's still some money left in the banks of Endpoint. It obviously isn't much really, as they go for this investment here. If they end up losing it, that's gonna be it. They're gonna have to be forced to go on an eco, and if that's the case, we're looking at a very likely scenario of Espada sitting on 14. But all of this, Ryan's on the 23rd round. Dexter with the AWP has been quite the important piece here for Espada's T side, even though it's not like he's hitting every single shot, but even getting the 1 opening frag or the 1 tag has been incredible. Dima, that's what I'm talking about. That is some fine shooting on Mighty Max. And that's the problem, you know, once the B-side defender goes down, once the anchor is out of the picture, the round is going to come to a swift end. If you're Endpoint, you don't want to go for a retake on the B bomb side. It is incredibly difficult, and they know it. They're already backing away to try and keep their weapons at bay.
Yeah, you can already see before the plant even went down, they're starting to run away. And they may not have to full eco if they get to save the 4 rifles, right? But if Sofkis finds any frags here, just any kills from Espada will do the trick here. They will be hunting here, but it will be 30 from Espada. That's 3 in a row now on the east side. They're starting to wake up. And Endpoint, they have no answer. Mighty Max couldn't get a single frag there on the B side. And well, Softkick, he knows he wants to try to find a frag. He wants to take some money away, but it's not going to be possible. It's not going to go for the peak here. So they will save 4 rifles, so it doesn't matter in the end.
Going through the smoke walks. He's gonna go down. Walks in with the AWD vision.
LOOT.BET.
So here we go. He has another M4. So Max is back on M4 and all the utilities. So this is going to be another full buy. They're going to get a free buy round just because they save 4 weapons. But then they're still losing their rounds though. So even though they keep getting buy rounds, They don't win. They lost 3 in a row now again. So maybe, you know, yeah, now they're playing 2 towards B. This is gonna have to be the plan because they can't just keep playing 1B and then just die every time.
Oh, Surreal actually gonna push up the smoke. That's ballsy move, Surreal. At least he's able to keep his op and his head intact. That's quite a ballsy move to make. Well, on the other hand, Espada, they're gonna respond with an incredible push on the B bombs and through the smoke of all things. And now it's a defensive that maybe Endpoint can hold on to. Mighty Max pushes on through. Oh no, he goes down. That's a good frag here for Espada. That gives them the opportunity to get on the site and try to get that bomb down. Whereas the players of Endpoint, they will absolutely attempt this retake. Another Molotov being chucked in. That's going to stop the offensive for now. And even a guy like Dexter, even he has another Molotov at play, but Dima goes down, leaving it all up to Dexter trying to win the clutch. He peeks out to get the one, but Crucial reacts very swiftly onto Dexter. That's going to be the round victory here for Endpoint, but I have to admit, Espada, that was such a ballsy move to make. You know, out there, close by the tunnel, there's a smoke grenade blocking off their vision, but it was their last hurrah in that round to try and win this round. However, some of the players, they still got stuck in the tunnels, while as the others pushed out. It definitely wasn't a cohesive effort, but it was a good effort to at least get the bomb down. Extra money in their pockets. But for Endpoint, this gives them the opportunity to fight another day.
Yeah, just one shot here and there went the way of Endpoint. That's why they won that round. If that op shot got missed, it would have been Espada in a 3v2, and it just would all collapse in there. So great run from Endpoint, but that was not an easy win to win that round on the B side. They pushed on to B again, and then they seem to keep having problems for Endpoint on that B side. So I'm not really sure what they can do to solve it. Because I think they're gonna keep abusing B. Now Finnegan is out in the middle here. Robin is holding from C to spawn, getting himself a pop flash out. But yeah, 2-round lead here from Espada still, but the money's still very bad here from Endpoint, and if Robin doesn't know he's out, he could have a big problem here if he doesn't take the corner. He does, but he doesn't realize Finnegan's gonna be there, and now the B push coming through. Mighty Max is gonna deny that. Ooh, Crucial with a nice shot on Dexter actually. And Patsy falls down with a second upper. The double up setup from Endpoint seems to be doing the trick here. And it close up the round though. Broken and Finnegan. Last 2 men standing. And this should not be a problem for Endpoint. They have 2 players here towards the sides. And there is Mighty Max. And there is Thomas. So 30-12, 2 in a row now from Endpoint. This is a much easier round. But that is because they didn't go B.
And we do see a pause coming through as well. We still see that Espada. I mean, they have loads of money at their disposal. No issues on that front. But there has to be some issues in terms of tactical depth at this point. It's the last few rounds here of the second half, and as the second half is coming to a close, it's also going to be the end of the first map. It is, of course, the pick of Endpoint, but we have to recall that the very first half was a dominant showing from Espada. They've managed to win 10 rounds in total, and it looked like they could continue on their streak on the second half, but no, that's not the case. Endpoint are looking incredibly solid here on the CD side, so much so that these past few rounds have been neck and neck. Neither team having a substantial edge thus far, so this could really go either way.
Yeah, this is a wide open map so far. Endpoint, they're definitely looking to take this map here. Get the lead in this best of 3. But with that surreal kill on Dexter, that's good. And a swell on top of Patsy, so again, Espada losing a player early on here. The question is, what are they gonna do with it? The bomb is still in top mid. And, well, pop flash out towards mid again. Finnegan looking for Robin here. It's gonna be spotted, and Robin is gonna lose the duel again. That's the second time in a row he loses that duel. Exact on the same spot too. And that is gonna have to give Surreal a chance here on short. He's gonna, he doesn't fully clear the corner here. He could get surprised. And he will. That's the Pico's advantage right there from top. He didn't even see him on his screen. And that's the A side completely open for business. There's only one player on long. And that's going to be Thomas here. So he's actually going to go for the fight. That's not going to be good enough. This is bad news from Endpoint. They need to save the last 2 weapons. They don't have any money on Robin or the remaining 3 who died. So the M4 and the AWP has to be saved here, giving Espada 14 rounds. Oh, wow, well, just see how 1 kill can turn the entire run around. Robin lost that duel 2 times now.
Yeah, it's really a shame that he ends up dying in that situation. Maybe if he holds his ground, that's suddenly a much more winnable status for Endpoint. But here, once one player goes down, the pieces on the A-bomb site just begin to crumble. One after another, the players keep going down as they just get overwhelmed by the force of Espada. So many players peeking out there. You're holding the angle, you suddenly see free T's. If you can get somehow even the 1 kill, that's pretty impressive. But getting any kills, it's a standard affair at that point. 14-12 is their current scoreline. There's a lot of pressure right now for the CT side, and they know it. They're going to go for the investment here. It will be a force spread from their part, investing every single penny. It's not great, though. I mean, some players are lacking in terms of weaponry. Some players are lacking in terms of utility, but they need to win a round like this. Dexter, not going to fire off the shot, though. Thought he might go for the early tag, but he's going to play this one precise. Not going to give away his position just yet.
Oh, the boost coming out from Endpoint is going to be absolutely locked down by Softkick. And that is a beautiful entry for Espada. That cannot happen for Endpoint when you have 2 bronze behind on your map pick. Especially on the CT side where you're giving away another pick is never good. This is just going to give Espada so much room to play with. There are only 4 players on the map here, Endpoint. So they're really going to have to gamble somewhere. And they're gambling 2B. They're putting 1 long and 1 on A side. So very weak on A side. If Thomas goes down here and doesn't get back up from long, that is going to be the run from Espada. So, Bomb is still in tunnel though, so they have yet to commit to A. But if I were Espada, they know he has an AWP now, right? So I probably would avoid that part of the map because he can get easy pickings. So I think it would be smarter to go B here, maybe make a split towards B, mid doors and then B tunnels. Because that way you're gonna be a 5 versus 2 on the B side, right? And the CTs is gonna have a very hard time taking you down, watching 3 angles, window, door, and tunnel.
I mean, there's no denying it. A lot of success has been found by Espada right on that B-bomb side. They're going to ready the troops, but they're not going to commit towards the side just yet. They're going on the A side. If anything, a few players here unsure if the bomb will try and join them, but it has been dropped. Look at Endpoint. They're able to hold their ground. They're being stopped. However, Dexter's going to go down. Finnegan and Patsy chime in. Maybe it's not the end of Espada just yet. The bomb does go down, but it's all up to Finnegan to try to win the clutch. There's the player in his backside. He's gonna go down. That's a victory here for Endpoint. A very solid defensive from 2 players, Robin and Thomas. We talked about how Robin did have a difficult time in the earlier rounds, but the fact that he steps up here single-handedly wins his team the round.
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of them hitting the inside there, to be honest. You know, you're up against an AWP, and if you can't, you know, moldy him out there towards A ramp, because they didn't moldy the A ramp or flash him out. They had a couple flashes first, but it was only 1 or 2, and it didn't even reach him. You know, you need to do better than that if you're gonna take the A side. Otherwise, you're gonna get shut down by the upper, and then Robin's gonna join in as well. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. You know, they need more flashes there towards the ramp, A ramp or moldies. Try to push him out. If you don't do that well, he's just gonna be having easy pickings. But Endpoint, they're gonna take that run any day of the week, and they're getting up on 13. And there's only 1 round differs now, so Endpoint. You know, this is a close map, but in the end, it's whoever wins it who matters. So they're playing 2B again. Robin again in the middle here. Finnegan. Oh, he's gonna push out again. This is the same position. No way he wins it the 3rd time. That would be ridiculous. If Robin goes to the peak here, he should pretty much just have a flash and go around the angle. He has the flash, but he's not gonna flash himself around the corner. Mighty Max takes early damage here. Robin again loses the battle. That's the 3rd time. 3-0 for Finnegan in the mid doors. And, well, are they really gonna go A again up against that op? That could be the same just like the last round if they don't mold him out. So what I would like to see here, crucially, is flash him so many times, put a mold on as well. Well, or you do that, That works too. Quick headshot from Sophic on the upper. And does Endpoint really want to go for this? Because Rob and Crucial don't have any money. Mighty Max don't have any money if they lose 2. So they may just have to save and try to pull us. Oh, that spray is all awful.
Unlucky Mighty Max. But oh, alrighty then. Mighty Max just bagging heads. It's a shame he couldn't do so when it really mattered. But then again, he was on the other part of the map. So let's see though. 15 rounds for Espada is looking inevitable at this point. There's going to be a few kills coming through for Endpoint, but it's not going to matter too much. The players of Espada will have loads of money to invest. And even though this is turning out to be quite a close affair, the problem is for Endpoint is money. There have been rounds where they've been consistently investing, and it shows on the back of it. This is the last round of possibly of the map, and so they have to go for a purchase, but it's not great. Yeah, they do have some weapons, but in terms of utility, it's a little bit lagging on their behind. Then again, it could always be worse.
Well, 2 map points here from Espada on map 1. It's been a long map actually, almost going the full distance here. Let's see if we are going to go the full distance or not, but at this point it doesn't look like that because Patsy gets the first kill on Crucial. And at this point, Thomas, alongside his team, is the real start to 32, so at that point they lose this round, they lose the first map, and then we're gonna go to Espada's map, pick Mirage. They're gonna feel good about that then, but Trey comes in from, Patsy goes down, he has no backup at all. He probably should just fall back with his teammates and play on the 5v4 they had, because now they gave up a pick, but it does look like they want to go towards the B side. Mighty Max, he needs to pop some heads here. He's the sole B defender. He has backup from the guy mid doors. But if Mighty Max gets instantly killed here, that could be a problem, but it does not look like they actually want to go B. They've been going A more and more in the last few rounds. Hasn't been too bad to be honest, but they're not gonna shake. Oh, he's actually shooting too early there, Surreal. He should have waited 1-2 more seconds to have a full kill. Now he just go for the wallbang. And that's gonna be the mid play died. Now they're just gonna split B instead. They know that there's 2 A and it only has to be 1 on B. Mighty Max, if he doesn't get 2 or 3 here, they're gonna lose the map. Oh my goodness, he's gonna get mollied here. Where's the flashes though? There's nothing Mighty Max can do, Danny. It's a 4v2. This is impossible to retake as well. This is the map done pretty much. Unless big mistakes is coming out from the Russians. And that's not happening. Robin down to 20. Thomas 50. This is a done deal.
Yeah, that's gonna be it here for Endpoint on Dust 2. Unless they can somehow win this miraculous 2 versus 4, they're gonna have to rub the lamp of the genie in order to make this wish a reality, but I just don't see that happening. Dima will hold the window position, wait for a certain Robin to appear in his crosshairs, and once they begin to go for the push, they're gonna get absolutely wrecked, but that is to be expected. 16-13. Espada have managed to win the opponent's map pick, and now we're going to be heading over to Mirage. That's going to be the pick of Endpoint, but I have to admit, we've seen Espada play yesterday in Mirage, and if I'm Endpoint, I'd be shivering heading into that matchup. But we'll have to wait and see how that one plays out.